It was the winter of 1959 in the frozen heart of the Ural Mountains, when 9 students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute set out on a skiing expedition that would become one of the most haunting mysteries in history. Their goal was to reach the remote Otterton Mountain, a challenging journey that only the most experienced hikers would dare to attempt. They were young, strong, and full of life. Their leader, Igor Dyatlov, was a respected engineer known for his precision and discipline. None of them could have imagined that this would be their final journey. When they left the town of Vijay on January 27th, the group was in good spirits. They laughed, took photographs, and wrote detailed diary entries. These journals, later recovered, paint a picture of adventure and friendship, a group of skilled mountaineers confident in their ability to overcome whatever nature might throw at them. But nature had other plans. Days later, a violent snowstorm swept across the region. The group's last diary entry, dated February 1st, indicated they had set up camp on the slope of a mountain the local Mansi people called Kolatshiakal, the Mountain of the Dead. It was an ominous name, though to them it was just another destination. No one knew that the next entry would never come. When the hikers failed to return, relatives and fellow students raised the alarm. On February 20th, a search party was launched. The Soviet government soon became involved, sending rescue teams, soldiers, and aircraft to scour the mountains. What they found defied explanation. On February 26th, the rescue team discovered the hikers' tent, half buried in snow, eerily silent. It had been cut open from the inside, as if the occupants had slashed their way out in panic. Inside were the hikers' boots, coats, and supplies. It made no sense. Why would 9 experienced mountaineers flee into a blizzard, barefoot and half-dressed, in temperatures reaching -30 degrees Celsius? Footprints in the snow led away from the tent. Some showed bare feet, others only socks. The tracks led toward a forest about 1.5 kilometers downhill, before disappearing into the white void. The first 2 bodies were found under a large cedar tree, stripped to their underwear. Their hands were raw, as if they had tried to climb the tree. Nearby, rescuers found remnants of a small fire. 3 more bodies were discovered between the cedar and the tent, positioned as if they were crawling back toward shelter. The searchers realized the remaining 4 were still missing. 2 months later, in May, the final 4 were found buried under 4 meters of snow in a ravine further into the forest. And that's when the mystery deepened. The condition of these bodies was far stranger. One woman, Lyudmila Dubinina, was missing her eyes, tongue, and part of her lips. Several had severe internal injuries, broken ribs, skull fractures, crushed chests. Yet their skin showed no external wounds. It was as if an immense pressure had hit them from within. Radiation was detected on their clothing, though none of them had worked with radioactive materials. The Soviet investigation could not explain these details. After months of analysis, the final report concluded only that the hikers died because of a compelling natural force. No further clarification was given. The case was quietly closed, and files were classified. But the questions didn't die. They only grew. Over the years, countless theories have tried to explain what really happened on that mountain. The first and most common was the avalanche theory, that a sudden shift of snow forced the hikers to cut open their tent and flee for safety. But the slope of the mountain was too gentle for a large avalanche, and the position of the tent didn't match typical avalanche patterns. The tent was still partially upright, and equipment inside remained undisturbed. Another possibility is infrasound, a phenomenon caused by wind passing over the mountain's unique shape, creating low-frequency vibrations that can induce panic, disorientation, and nausea. Some scientists suggest this could explain why the group fled in confusion, though it fails to explain the physical injuries. Then there's the military test theory. In 1959, the Soviet Union conducted numerous secret experiments, including parachute mine tests and missile launches. Some believe the hikers accidentally entered a restricted zone. Flash explosions could have caused their internal injuries without visible external wounds. The strange orange glow seen by witnesses in the sky around the same time might have been evidence of these tests. Others point to the Mansi people, the indigenous group living in the region. Could the hikers have been attacked? The theory falls apart when you consider the Mansi's reputation for peace and the lack of any signs of struggle. Their own folklore even warned against venturing into the Mountain of the Dead. And then, of course, there are the more extraordinary explanations. UFO encounters, yeti attacks, and government conspiracies. The unusual injuries, missing organs, and radiation fueled these theories for decades. One of the most chilling details came from investigators who said the bodies appeared to have an unnatural orange tint, as if exposed to radiation or chemical burns. Despite renewed investigations, no definitive answer has ever been found. In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the case, reviewing all available evidence with modern technology. In 2020, they concluded that a rare type of slab avalanche was responsible, a delayed snowslide triggered by structural instability. The theory gained some support, yet many experts still reject it. The pattern of the injuries and the group's behavior remain inconsistent with what an avalanche would cause. The Dyatlov Pass mystery endures because every explanation leaves a piece of the puzzle missing. The hikers' calm, organized behavior before the event contradicts the chaos that followed. Their experience and discipline make panic unlikely. Their tense location, the absence of avalanche debris, and the nature of their wounds continue to confound experts to this day. What truly happened on that mountain? Was it an accident of nature, an experiment gone wrong, or something far beyond human understanding? The Dyatlov Pass remains frozen in time, a riddle carved into snow and silence. The mountain watches over 9 souls who vanished into its cold embrace, leaving only whispers of terror behind. Every year, new hikers travel to the site, placing memorials where the tent once stood. The wind howls, echoing across the empty peaks, and some say you can still hear faint voices, laughter, footsteps, and cries fading into the night. Maybe the truth was buried with them under the snow. Maybe it was erased by the state. Or maybe, just maybe, the Ural Mountains keep their secrets because some stories were never meant to be told.